Hey guys, Skippy here. Yeah, I know it's been a month. Uh, I don't have any excuses other than I'm lazy. I'm retired. There's no reason I shouldn't be able to do one video a week. But, all I can say is I'm just a lazy bastard and I just haven't gotten to it. I'm going to try to do some maybe 4 quick videos here, maybe 5, just to go, well, 3 actually. I want to go over September, October, and then November in one video, November and December in a second video, and then go over the end of the, just do like maybe a third video, just the end of the year recap. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're looking at September of 2023. This is when I was in Pratinac. Okay, so we'll start off. 90,000 was my target budget. Um, so we are at 10,000 for rent, which is not going to change. Electric, a little high, hot that time of year, I suppose. 31, 32 Thai baht for electric. And again, that's all aircon. If you don't need aircon, you're going to have a much, much lower bill. As I always say, make sure you're paying the government rate. That's what you need to ask when you're looking at a condo. Uh, Food and toiletries and all that. So this is my horrible name for my catch-all bucket here. Um, I try to go to 32. I don't know what happened here. I was probably going out to dinner a lot. Okay, still have the girlfriend. Again, I talked about this before. That is far too much to be giving anybody. If you don't remember, I mentioned in my other videos, I had a pretty serious medical condition that I was dealing with, and I really needed somebody to live with me. Either a girl or a nurse or somebody that comes visit me to help me out a little bit. Um, this is not something I recommend. I mean, listen, all these girls, if you want them to live with you and not work, you're taking them out of a job. You're going to have to give them some type of, I'm going to call it a salary or stipend, whatever you want to call it. Um, and that's been my experience, and I think you'll find that's true. I'm not saying you're not going to find true love and the girl's going to stay with you and you don't have to give her anything, but, good luck with that if you can find it. All right, moving on. I didn't spend anything on insurance or medical this year. I'm not sure why that's zero. Um, I don't recall, and I'm not going to go back and look, but I am pretty accurate with these. When I spend anything per day, the next morning, one of the first things I do when I'm having coffee is update what did I spend yesterday. So this is pretty accurate what I've done here. Um, I'd say it's probably within plus or minus, I won't say 1,000 baht or plus or minus 500 baht. But anyway, all right, bus, Bolt, public transportation, 3150. I guess I was, you look at this number, food going out a lot. So I apparently was getting around that month. Uh, Visa costs, again, I've talked about this before. You're going to use an agent or you're not. I'm not going to debate that. I mean, I don't have anything against people that don't use agents, and I don't have anything against people that do use agents. It's a personal choice. Clothes, zero on that. Massage haircut. Kind of shocked I have not had anything, at least a haircut. It's possible the girlfriend was cutting my hair at that point. I don't remember. Cleaning, one of the benefits of having a girlfriend is she would take it upon herself to clean the condo, which I didn't have to do it. Laundry, didn't go too hog wild there. I budget 1,600, 860. Internet's included with this condo, free Wi-Fi. The phone, 208 baht and 33 satang. That's AIS. All that is unlimited internet for 1 year. You pay it all at once. I think 4,500. Whatever multiply. Let's see, 208.33 times 12. So 2,500 baht for the year. I just divide it up and throw it in each month. So yeah, that's unlimited internet. I do not have talk. I can use the AIS plan to talk, and I forget what they charge. You keep some money in your AIS account. It might be like 1 baht a minute. I hardly ever use it. So that's that. So where are we at here? I spent 97,703.33. So 7,703 baht and 33 satang over. I'll take it compared to some of the other months. All right, I'm going to quickly move on to October and let's take a look what's going on there. All right, again, let's just go through it. 90,000, the budget, 10,000 is the rent, doesn't change. Must have still been hot. I budget 3,000 for electric. 3252 was spent. Uh, you'll see I did something different with this category here later. This was a work in progress and still is. Excuse me. So 64,000. Yeah, that's going out to restaurants, going out to the bar, whatever. Any go 7-Eleven, going grocery shopping. It's all in there. I do break that down later a little bit better. Still have the girlfriend at this point. You will see that drop off soon. Insurance, I have zero here again. I don't remember why. I mean, I don't know, but I'm not gonna obsess over that. Um, Bot bus bolt actually came in under my projection. 1825 is what I budget. 1380 is what I spent. Visa cost I talked about. Clothes zero. Massage haircut zero. I'm guessing she was cutting my hair at that point, possibly giving me massages as well, although maybe not. Cleaning, I don't spend anything on cleaning the condo. We do that. Laundry, a little bit cheaper this month, thousand baht. Uh, Again, the phone 20833. I just talked about that. Now, here we go, right? Uh, this was not a, this first year was not a shining example of budgetary prowess. Let me just say that. Um, and this all depends on what kind of person you are. When I came, again, I've said this before. When I came here, I tried my best to get into expat living here mode, but it's my first year in Thailand. I was in holiday mode. I was having a good time, enjoying everything. And at the end of the day, this month I ended up spending 112,039.33 total. So I was over 22,039 baht and 33 satang. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm just going to go ahead and roll into November and December and knock this out. All right, so November, 90,000 is the budget, 10,000 for the rent, a little bit over on the 3,000 that I budget for electric, 3174. Again, this pain in the ass bucket here, my food, it's the horrible name. It encapsulates everything, going out to dinner, going to the bar, going to the grocery store, going to 7-Eleven. It's like everything. I do break this out more later. So I budgeted 31,974.67 and I went 58,814, a little bit over. The girlfriend, talked about that. She's still there at this point, not for much longer. Again, the insurance and medical, I don't know what I did here. I might have put these costs up in the food toiletry section. I just don't remember, but I can assure you everything I spent is in here. Uh, 1825 budgeted for public transportation, bus or Bolt or Grab. 1425, a little bit under there. The Visa, we talked about that. Clothes, nothing. Massage, haircut, nothing again. Girlfriend. Cleaning around condo. Laundry still came in under my 1600 budgeted at 1140. Internet included. Phone 20833. So as you can see, the budget was 90,000, and of course I went over by 16. What is it? 16011.33. So I spent 106,011 baht and 33 satang, being over my budget of 90,000 of 16,011 Thai baht and 33 satang. All right, let's roll into December. So here we go. 90,000, 10,000 for rent, not going to change. Electric, a little bit under this month. Budget 3,000, 2478. Here's my favorite bucket, budget bucket here. I budget 31,494.06 for again, food, bar, grocery shopping. It's all in there, possibly, and miscellaneous, could be anything. Came in well over 62,267. Girlfriend's still here at this point. I believe that changes next month. You'll see that drop off because there's no more girlfriend at that point. I got over that whole thing, and again, I'm just going to stress I had some severe issues medically. I needed somebody, but at this point, I was getting better. I'll get into the details of that once she's no longer on the budget sheet. Insurance medical, zero again. I'm not sure what I did here. I probably put it up into the food toiletries miscellaneous section by accident. Maybe that's why that number's so high. But again, I assure you guys, these numbers are accurate. Bot bus, I must have gone out a lot. You can see that by the miscellaneous toiletries food number. 1825 budgeted for Bolt, 3526 spent. Visa, we talked about, closed zero. I must have got a massage, I think. 300 looks like a massage. Haircuts priced still by the girlfriend. Cleaning, we clean our own condo. Laundry, I'm not sure what the heck happened here. I have zero here. Um, I don't know if, okay, you know what? I think this was the month we moved, or, well, yeah, we did actually move together to Nha Jam Tien. Um, and there was a washing machine there. So it probably something to do with having access to the condo and the washing machine. Well, I'll talk about that more later. Internet, I don't know what happened here. 480.61. I honestly don't know what that number is. I'm sure I spent it. Um, it might have been something to do with moving. I just don't remember. But if the number's there, it's right. Again, when I go out every day, I keep track of what I spend. What I like to use my Bangkok Bank app is the scan. You can scan to pay for nearly everything in Thailand, and I mean everything. It's like an instant record of everything that you did the day before. Now, sometimes, yeah, you're going to pay cash. You're just going to. I make a note on my phone if I spend 50 baht somewhere, and yeah, I write it down to the baht. I don't go as far to the satang, but you know, if it's 10 baht or more, I write it down. So, uh, yeah, so it's accurate. The phone internet, that's my phone internet, AIS 20833. And as you can see, my budget was 90,000 baht, and I went over by 2509.94 for a total of 110,509 baht and 94 satang. So yeah, over 20,509 baht and 94 satang. Um, so that takes care of December 23. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can uh, well, I'm going to do a separate video. I'm going to leave this at the last 4 months. I'm going to do a quick video right after this that recaps my first year and what the average spent was. All right, guys, listen, again, apologies for not uploading for almost a month here. I wish I had an excuse. I wish I had a good story to tell you. I did go to Vietnam in May of 2025 for 10 days. Um, I have some photos. I didn't really take too many videos there. I might maybe do a collage of photos or something. But all that stuff's going to happen after I get through next year. I want to get through 2024, and then we'll be caught up in real time. I'll bring it up to, by the time I get there, I guess up to May of 2025. And you can see the evolution of how I started spending less. All right, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. If you like the video, give it a like. If you don't, give it a dislike or make a comment. Again, thank you for watching.